Hello, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I would like to show you how to do Tunisian crochet, the very basics from start to finish, okay? So this is an example of something that you can make using Tunisian crochet. This is called the simple stitch right here. And it's called the simple stitch because it's very simple to do. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this stitch, which is one of the first stitches that you learn when you do Tunisian crochet. Let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, let's talk about what you're going to need. Okay, so for Tunisian crochet, you are going to need a special hook. This hook is a Tunisian crochet hook. It looks like a crochet hook, right? You see? But Tunisian crochet has a cord and usually a stopper at the end. This is so that when you're making your stitches, they're going to be able to go on this cord right here. You're going to keep them on the cord. So this is a Tunisian crochet hook and cord. Mine are interchangeable. They come out, okay? So that I can change the hook to a different size if I need it, or if I need a different length cord, I can also do that. So mine are interchangeable. They have them where they're not interchangeable. It's just a hook and a cord, and you have to buy each size that way. These are plastic. They have wooden ones, they have metal ones. You decide which ones are more comfortable for you. So we'll need this cord when we are making something larger, like this pillow here. Okay, I needed a larger cord, but when you're learning, you don't really need that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the cord off so that you can see I just need a regular hook because I'm just learning, right? I'm going to make a small sample. As a matter of fact, if you do not have a Tunisian crochet hook, you can go ahead and use just a regular crochet hook when you are learning or if you are making something small, okay? Just make sure that the hook that you are using is kind of smooth like this and doesn't have a lot of bumpy things. Like, the ones that have the, here, let me show you. The grip, see, this is not a good one to do Tunisian crochet on, okay? Because you won't be able to put your loops on here. That'll make more sense once we get started, okay? So when you're starting and when you're learning, go ahead and try on a crochet hook before you invest on buying the Tunisian hooks. But here's the thing about the Tunisian hooks is that you can use them for crochet too. So they're interchangeable in that sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and just use my regular um, crochet hook for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a slip knot. Okay, here we go. And if you need a tutorial on how to make a slip knot, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the I'm going to go ahead and put that in the description. So I've got a slip knot and I'm going to make a chain of 10. Again, this is just a sample. Here's a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I have a chain of 10. All right, great. So far, so good, just like crochet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chain, I'm going to turn it over. So some people like to make their Tunisian crochet right into the stitch. You can absolutely do that, okay? But I like the clean edge that it makes. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to look for the bumps. Do you see the bumps in the back here? Okay, and I'm going to be working into those bumps. So I'm not going to go into the first one that's closest to my hook. I'm going to look for this one right here. Let me pull it back. I'm going to insert my hook from right to left under that bump. Okay, so now it looks as if I have two loops on my hook. I have my working loop and the bump from the chain. I'm going to yarn over and I'm just going to pull it through that bump. And I'm going to leave my loop on my hook. Okay, that is the whole trick to Tunisian crochet. We leave our loops on the hook. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go ahead, find my next bump in the back of the chain, yarn over and pull it through. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way down. Okay, all the way down. I'm going to look for the back loop, yarn over and pull it through. Now you see how I'm holding all of these loops on the hook with this finger. Okay, I'm going to insert my hook from right to left. Okay, and I'm going to try it again. I'm going to insert my hook from right to left, yarn over, and I'm using this finger to hold all the loops so that I don't accidentally work them off. And I'm just going to pull it through that bump. All right, so let's try the last few. Pull it through, insert the hook from right to left, yarn over, pull it through. You see I'm holding the tail with these two fingers here. I'm going to look for that last loop, yarn over and pull it through. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 loops on my hook. So that is called the forward pass because we went forward. In the forward pass, all we do is add the loops to our hook. Now we're going to do the return pass because now we are going to return, okay? And in the return pass, we're going to work the loops off of our hook, okay? So for our very first stitch, we are going to yarn over and we are just going to pull it through just one. And once again, I'm using this finger to hold my other loops and just pull it through that one loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and go for the rest of the stitches. I'm going to pull it through 2. I'm going to pull it through 2. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull it through 2, and I'm going to do that all the way down. And this is called the return pass. And I'm working the stitches off of my hook. Now, when you're doing Tunisian crochet, actually when you're doing anything, the first few rows are the most difficult. They are wonky and they're usually a little bit different than the rest of the pattern, okay? Because it's hard to work into the chain. Now look, you see that nice edge that I got? That's what happens when you work into the back loops. You can also do that in regular crochet when you're not doing Tunisian crochet if you want this nice edge, okay? Now I'm ready for my next row, okay? So I have my foundation right here, and I'm going to start my first row. Now, if you look carefully, you're going to see these bars all across this thing. You see the bar? Those are the bars. Those are the bars that we're going to be working into. Now, we're not going to work into this very first one right here, okay? We're just going to leave that alone, and I'm going to take my crochet hook or my Tunisian crochet hook, and I'm going to insert it from right to left, right under that first bar. Okay, it's closer. Okay, right under that first bar. I'm going to yarn over and holding this loop, I'm going to pull it through that bar. And now I have 2 loops on my hook, just as I did before. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to insert my hook from right to left under that bar. I'm going to yarn over and pull it through just the bar. Okay, and I'm going to do that all the way down. Now it's on this first row, it will often be difficult to see the bars. Just take your time and look for them, okay? This is why it's good to start with just a small number of stitches until you get used to how to find the bar. But it's just this first few rounds. After that, it becomes easier to see the bars, okay? So look for the next bar, insert your hook from right to left, yarn over and pull it through, but do not work off those loops, okay? This is called the forward pass. Now take a look at everything my fingers is doing. I'm inserting my hook from right to left. I'm yarn over, and I'm using this finger to hold all the loops so I don't accidentally work them off. Now we've got this last bar here, which is easy enough to see, okay? But I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Where is the 10th loop? Let me show you. This is a very common mistake that beginners make, and even us people who have been doing this for a while. The last stitch is on the side. So go ahead and look for, there's a loop on the side, and then there's another strand right next to it, and push your hook through that. Now, as you can see, you have 2 loops on there, 1 and 2, okay? Yarn over and pull it through. For me, this was one of the most difficult things to learn, was how to make that nice edging, especially on the first row, okay? Now I have 10 loops on my hook, okay? Once again, if you are making something that is longer, these loops are going to go on this cord. Now they do have Tunisian crochet hooks that are stiff like this and are very long. I think they're called Afghan hooks, okay? And they're very long and they're solid like this. They don't have the cord, so they're not bendable, all right? So you can go ahead and purchase one of those as well. Oops. Okay, so now we did the forward pass, and we are going to go ahead and do the return pass. So for the return pass, once again, we're going to yarn over, and I'm going to hold all my stitches, and I'm going to go through just 1 loop, okay? And then for the rest of it, I'm going to yarn over and pull it through 2, yarn over and pull it through 2 all the way down. Okay, here we go, all the way down. Great. When you're starting, try and use worsted weight yarn, okay? I find it's easier to learn on, and try and use a mid-range color, nothing too bright, nothing too dark. Definitely don't try black. That is not a good color to start with. Now, as you can see, it is a lot easier to see those lines now, right? You can see those bars a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and do another forward pass, okay, just to show you how much easier it is now on this row, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook from right to left. Remember, we're not working into this one. We're going to do this one right to left, okay, right to left, yarn over and pull it through. Okay, see how much easier it is to do it on these rows? It's always the first few rows that's difficult. If you're having a hard time, just go ahead, pull it out, try again, because you're just learning. So this is the simple stitch. There are other stitches. So we're just looking for the bar, and we're going to insert it from right to left. And now I have 9 loops on my hook, and I'm going to look for that last placement of the stitch, which will be this and this right here. So I'm going to insert it under this bar and under this bar. So it looks like a V, just like if you were doing regular crochet, okay? All right, then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull it through. And now I have 10 loops on my hook. What that does is it makes a nice edging here, okay? So let's go ahead and do the return pass. So for the return pass, once again, we're going to yarn over and pull it through 1, and yarn over and pull it through 2. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way down. This is just practice, okay? So you're just practicing, so you can absolutely learn on a regular crochet hook to see if you actually like it before you make an investment in the corded hooks, okay? All right, there you go. Now you see that? Look how easy it is to see those lines. You see? These are the bars in the simple crochet. These are the bars. They're right here. Let me show you. You see? These are the bars. This is called the Tunisian simple stitch. Now, as you can see, it is opened here. right? That's not what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to finish this. So with crochet, all we would have to do is make a knot and cut it and be done with it. But we can't do that with this. We have to actually close these holes up, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So before we do that, I want to show you, see how nice this edging is? It makes it nice and easy. So if you're doing attachment, if you're making a scarf, or if you're making a pillow like I did here, it's really easy to work into those loops. Nice and neat, this edging, nice and neat, this edging here. And you can't really see it because it's only a few stitches, but you see how nice and neat this edging is coming along? Now, when you're starting, if you're having trouble with the edging and you just want to work on the stitch, go ahead. But it's really good practice to try to get it right. But if you can't, just go for the stitch, okay? And then come back and work on the edging. Because, as I said before, that was the most difficult thing for me to learn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my first stitch, okay? So I'm going to look for that bar, which is a lot easier to see now. I'm going to insert my hook from right to left. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull it through the bar. And I'm now going to pull it through that loop because I am finishing this up. Okay, let's try that again. Insert your hook from right to left, yarn over, pull it through the bar, and pull it through the loop. See that? Let's try one more. Or let's try again. Insert from right to left, yarn over, pull it through, and pull it through the loop. Okay, so when you're beginning, you're going to do it nice and slow like this, one at a time. Okay, or when you get some speed, this is what so you're going to do it one at a time like this. So when you get some speed, this is what you can do. Insert from right to left, yarn over, and pull it through both. Okay, either way is correct. As long as you get it through both of those loops, it's all good. Okay, you can do it one at a time, or you can do it through both at a time. Okay, there you go. Now look how nice this edging is by doing that close. Okay, see, we have the beginning chain here, we have the edging here, and we have this finishing part here. Now we need to finish off one more. Okay, so this is where lots of people, including me, make a mistake because we don't have the loops to count anymore, right? But we still have one more stitch. It's that side stitch right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look for that side stitch. You see, it looks like a V. Like in crochet, we're going to look for a V and we're going to insert our hook under both legs of that V, just like in crochet, if we were doing a stitch. And I'm going to yarn over and pull it through that, and yarn over and pull it through the last one. And there you go. This is the Tunisian crochet from start to finish, okay? So we made a chain. We put our loops on in the back loop. We used the back loops of the chain, and we did the forward pass and the return pass. So you see these lines here? Very simple, simple stitch. If you would like to learn how to make this pillow, go ahead and click on this video here. If you want to know how to make more stitches, go ahead and let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, all right, so that I can bring you more videos. Let me know what you would like to see next, okay? Te veo.